Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of Little Modular. Today I will focus on this super useful module by SYNTHS called Dual Drive. This is another module from the Techno series. I was reviewing the other one, Dual Effects, a few days ago. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. You can find it on my channel. This is the more spatial effect for reverbs, delays, and some special combo effects. But today we will take a look at this dual drive, which is devoted to distorting sounds, as the name implies. It has a similar architecture as the dual drive, meaning that it has two identical sections, each of them devoted to overdriving and distorting different signals. It is mainly designed to distort percussive sounds, just like the techno pioneers in the 90s used to do. They were using often guitar pedals, like the classical Boss distortion pedal, the yellow one. They were using them with the TB303 or with the TR-808 bass drums and snares to distort, to make it more aggressive and full of character. And this is a similar approach. It's meant to throw some dirt on your beats, and it does really well. Alright, so let's dive straight into the front panel and see what it does. As I have mentioned before, section number 1 is here, section number 2 is here. Each of the sections has two parameters plus a CV attenuator right here. Also, each of the sections has a three-way position switch right here. This gives you three different overdrive flavors because it's all analog, no DSP in it. So this changes the internal circuit configurations to give you different flavors. Personally, I like number 1 and number 3 most, but number 2 is also useful in different situations because although it is designed for percussive instruments mainly, you can definitely use it on different sources. I'm loving it on bass, for instance. From my perspective, it is a very good idea to put a kick through channel number 1, for instance, and bass through channel number 2. And you have this aggressive pumping, raving techno pumping out of your speakers immediately. So the first parameter here for both sections is the gain. Pretty much self-explanatory, I think. The second parameter below is drive. That's where you decide how much of the distortion you want to apply to the signal. And below you have the CV attenuator. And here we have to remember about one thing, because although we have two CV in inputs, one for gain and one for the drive, this attenuator applies both of them. I'm totally willing to sacrifice that in favor of the small footprint, because when you're assembling your live set rig, it's super important to squeeze every inch out of your portable case. And this module, as well as the dual effects, is designed for live performance, so it's simple to navigate and it's really effective. Besides the CV1 and CV2 ins, we have audio input right here and audio output just next to it on the right. The cool thing is we can configure this module in such a way that it will not be two independent sections, but one section in a series. So the signal will pass through the first section and then it will pass through the second section, so we can achieve some extremely crazy bonkers amounts of dirt and distortion. And you do that by just not patching anything in the input number 2. So now the signal goes through channel number 1, and then you get the final output out of the out number 2. Simple as that, just a simple normalization. That is the dry signal right here, no effect on it. Now let me switch to the channel number 1. You can immediately hear this thump. It's a bit louder, so I'm going to lower it on a mixer so you can compare it better. If we increase the drive right here and gain, these knobs of course work together. You can hear it's just adding a lot of grit, a lot of hair settings, like so. This is mode number 1, by the way. Okay, that's how it sounds, extremely distorted. As a side note, there is a limiter built in here, so we won't clip it in a nasty way. You can hear the limiter working right now, so it's pumping, and you can hear all the background noise coming up in level and all those artifacts, which personally I'm loving. So you can hear this pumping. Let's hear how the second algorithm works. It doesn't have as much pumping going on, but it's still very aggressive. Okay. Let's compare to the dry again. That's just a different sound altogether. Let's check out the third mode. Again, it's more aggressive. I love all of them actually. Really, really nice. Let's check out the bass maybe. That's how it sounds on its own. No effects. And now let's switch it to the effect. And mode number 1 again. Super aggressive, super fat. Mode number 2. Different flavor. And now if I open up the CV, it should affect my drive. Okay. You can hear it opening periodically to the rhythm, which sounds really nice. Let's hear how it sounds with the bass drum. Yep, that's one fat sound. Let's hear some action with the snare. It's rectified, like it takes away some attack, but it gives it some sizzle. Let's hear just the snare. It's almost like it also gets this little slap delay in extreme settings. I can again use the CV to modulate it a bit. That's mode number 1. That's mode number 2. Not so much of the heights, but it sounds interesting. Okay, and mode number 3. Now I can use some of the effects on it. These are the effects from Dual Effects. You can hear the delay. Some short delays. Sounds great. Let's add the bass drum. And let's add the high sound. This one has reverb from channel number 1 of the Dual Effects. Alright, so before I get carried away, let me just show you how the dual distortion mode works like. So again, I'm unplugging input number 1, So now I have configured the module so it's two sections working in series. So the signal goes through the first section and then through the second section. And what we could do here is we can mix and match different modes. So I can choose mode number 1 on the first section and mode number 2 on the second section. So let's hear it. First, I'm adding a bit of the first section, and now I'm adding the second section. So this one gives me a lot of bottom, and this one gives me a bit of a different flavor, more mid-rangey. I can switch it to the third algorithm, and let's just for fun, let's just make it super extreme, okay? Everything all the way up. Yeah, that doesn't sound healthy, doesn't it? But you could do it. So, oh my god. Shit, can you hear all those artifacts? Sizzling, this crazy, pumping background sounds. It definitely is extreme. I believe I just found my ultimate live performance combo. With those two, you can cover pretty much everything you need for a small or even mid-size system. I'm loving everything about these modules. The minimalistic design, black and white, really elegant. Those super nice knobs that have a perfect feel, perfect tension. I love the sound quality. I love the ease of use and the small footprint. I'll see you next time. And as usual, if you like that video, please subscribe, like, and spread the good word. Peace.